Hey, howdy ho everybody! This is Postmortem Nightshade, and it's time for Mortal Kombat 2. Simon McCoy returns as director after working on 2021's Mortal Kombat, with the biggest addition to the cast being Karl Urban, who I actually know best from Lord of the Rings, Star Trek, and The Boys. I actually haven't seen the first Mortal Kombat film, so I was curious how my experience would be going into the sequel completely blind. And well, I can confidently say that while I was confused at times, the movie let me in on enough information that I wasn't too lost throughout the duration of the film. Running at nearly 2 hours, Mortal Kombat definitely has pacing and length issues, but for this kind of film, I honestly this time didn't mind too much because I was having a pretty great time, shockingly for me. I was not expecting that. This is definitely not the kind of fun, though, where I'm like in awe and just astounded at how good this movie is. But rather, it was the feeling of, wow, this movie is really bad, but it's kind of fun. That's the kind of time I was having throughout this 2-hour-long movie. I, as I mentioned, wasn't going in expecting anything amazing, so you could also say that my expectations were met, which, based on your metric, might be for better or worse. This is a very cheesy, action-heavy CGI bloodbath, but this movie, thankfully, knows what it is and leans into it, which allows the audience to at least have a good time. Basically, it doesn't take itself too seriously. I am not super familiar with the Mortal Kombat games, but I do know the music and some of the catchphrases. To its credit, this film not only made me feel included with my very limited knowledge, but I am also certain that this movie was packed with a lot more fun for the hardcore fans that I just probably missed because I was unawares. It was nice, though, to feel included in the lore and the fandom, even though I'm not part of the Mortal Kombat community, which for me feels like high praise because often with video game movies, it can be hard for the writers or the director to allow audiences of all experience with a piece of lore or a certain IP to actually feel included. So the fact that I was able to feel included by this Mortal Kombat sequel is actually pretty impressive to me. I was also surprised by how funny some of the lines in this movie were, which again just proves this movie knows what it is and leans into it. The best part of this film, easily though, was the action scenes. They had plenty of great choreography and unexpected twists and turns that kept me on the edge of my seat. This film also definitely lives up to its name, so no one is safe in this movie at all. So the fights actually felt like they had weight and consequences. And even though there was a lot of CGI, the production design, costuming, score, and lighting were all consistent and interesting to look at or listen to, which honestly feels like the most I can ask from this sort of movie. There was, of course, for me, too much CGI blood and gore. I always prefer practical, of course, and the script was pretty bad. This movie definitely suffered from way too much awkward and stunted dialogue paired with insanely obvious exposition dumps that stuck out like a sore thumb. But, as I mentioned, this is definitely an over-the-top, gory, cheesy CGI action flick that, for me, was a pretty good time at the cinema. So, if you go in with the right expectations, I don't think you'll be disappointed. The audience I saw it with was also having a great time, and if you don't want to pay the full ticket price but still want to experience the sequel, I think that's a great excuse to go support your local cinema on their discount weekday. Also, after watching this sequel, I'm actually interested to go back and watch the first film, which again feels like high praise for what category this movie falls into. So on my scale, this film gets between a hey Heidi, no really, maybe just stop, and a hey Heidi, okay. But let me know in the comments, are you a fan of the Mortal Kombat games? And if so, what are your thoughts on the movies? Thank you everyone so much for tuning in, and if you'd like to follow along on my movie review journey, please like and subscribe, and I will see y'all very soon.